So, welcome to this seminar about biodistricts. My name is Maria Mischa, and the host of this seminar is MatLust development node. MatLust supports small and medium-sized food companies in the Stockholm area to grow sustainably. We do this through various programs, networks, and events. So while most of our focus is on our local region, we also engage in transnational networking and exchange of best practice with initiatives from other countries. And we do this together with Stockholm Resilience Center and Beras International. So this has resulted in a series of written documents available on our website and seminars where we take home and share with you innovative and successful strategies to create more sustainable food systems. And in today's seminar, we will talk about the concept of biodistricts as it has been developed in Italy. So in a short while, we will be joined by Salvatore Basile, who will share their experience of establishing the very first biodistrict in Chilento district in Italy. And also how this concept is being spread to other countries in Europe and around the world. But first, I want to welcome Sara Seing, who is head of MatLust development node and also head of the diet unit in Södertälje municipality. And to introduce why we think this concept of biodistrict is interesting. So Sara, what is it about biodistricts that has caught your attention?
Well, in Södertälje, we had these decisions from our politicians in the beginning of 2000, and where they decided that we should use our resources in the municipality to try to increase the sustainable local food production. And we have been working with a number of activities since then, mostly by purchase organically produced food and local produced food, but also we have been working develop a number of strategies that we saw was relevant to increase the food production on a local level and make it more sustainable. We have for example, created policies such as a cultivation policy, pollination policy, and also a public meal policy. And hopefully we will start to work with a strategy in our organization that is about food sufficiency. And the food self-sufficiency. And that is a very current, of course, a very current question today when we have the situation in the world, trying to increase the self-sufficiency when it comes to food. From my perspective, I think that this kind of concept is I think it should be, that it can be a very strong tool for us to continue our work and also try to work closer with the people in the whole food chain, because we need each other in this work. So I'm very excited to hear more about this concept and what Salvatore's experiences and what we could do after this. So,
yeah, thank you, Sara. Yeah, and you will come back later for possible questions and so on at the end of this hour. And I think Salvatore just joined us. Are you here, Salvatore?
Yes, perfectly. Thank you.
Yes, wonderful. Welcome. So I will soon leave the floor to Salvatore Basile. You are the president of the International Network of Ecoregions, also called the Inner Association. And you're also the co-president of the Global Alliance of Organic Districts. And you have been in the Chilento region from the beginning, I believe. So I will share your presentation and ask you to please take the word from me.
Thank you very much for your help, Maria. Sorry, because now I am in a very comfortable place, but before, you know, I don't know if I will be able to show or not the presentation from my computer, but please, if you have, is the best solution.
Can you see it now?
No.
No, okay, sorry. I thought so.
But don't worry, if the people see, I have my paper, so I.
No, I wasn't sharing. Apologies, but now I will be.
Okay, perfect.
There you go.
Thank you very much, my friends. So I am very happy to say, you know, that Jostein and other friends are working for the construction of a little network of northern countries involved in the organic districts topic. So as you can see in the next slide, I will try to start from a concrete example from the first biodistrict or ecoregion or organic districts. We use a lot of words for the same concept. The organic district is an innovative territory in which farmers, consumers, public administrators, and other local actors have an agreement, a pact for the sustainable management of the natural resources according to the principles of organic farming and agroecology. And this model was codified 18 years ago in this place, the place that you see in the picture, that is the Chilento National Park in the south of Italy, about 150 kilometers from Naples, that is the largest city of the area. Slowly, we started with about 10 municipalities that decided to start with the green public procurement, in particular in the schools, in the hospitals. And actually, we have 40 municipalities that are members that pay the fee each year to INER and to Chilento Biodistrict. But the area of activity of Chilento Biodistricts is of 95 municipalities. So you can imagine there is a big work for the connections through all the municipalities, very different. We have municipalities with the mayor of right, other of left, other in the middle. So from the political point of view, it's a big work that the president of Chilento Biodistrict do all the days for this networking through the municipalities of this biodistrict. We have about 1,000 organic operators and a large surface under organic management of 13,000 hectares. As you can see in the next slide, the link between the landscape and the local food is very strong. So finally, the aim of a biodistrict is the creation of a new local sustainable food system based on the local food. And you can see in this picture in the Chilento, we have from meat, fruit, figs. There is a very high biodiversity. And this is perfect for a biodistrict because in this way you can have the organic food all the year at your disposal. In the next, you can see, for example, the laboratories that we have with the tourists, with the students of the schools, but with all the people interested to know, for example, in which way we produce the pasta or the pizza, the main important food that we have in this biodistrict. And in the other slide, you can see some examples of activities carried out in the biodistrict. Of course, first of all, the organic markets, the short food chain, the bio-beach, that is the promotion of the inland rural areas, directly where we have the tourists near the sea, in particular in summertime. Or we have the eco paths that are very important for the links between the place where the tourists are and the farmers that normally are in the internal rural areas. And for that, in the next slide, you can see why the tourism is very, very important in an organic district. There is a new concept of green tourism, more environmentally, social, and cultural oriented. In the next slide, you can see that Chilento Biodistrict have a lot of communication tools for the tourists, but not only for the tourists, for the farmers and for other people involved in the organic district. We have a magazine, publish books, website, social, and so on. But in the next slide, you can see the evolution, the organic district's milestones. So in 2004, started the first organic district in Chilento, and were developed the first organic districts guidelines that are very important, because in this way we can speak the same language with all the territories interested to the biodistricts. In 2014, with the creation of INE, that is the international network of the ecoregions, we developed the international guidelines and a toolkit for the creation and the management of the organic districts. In 2020, thanks in particular to Josten, because really it was the most important person for the idea, for the development of the network of this global alliance of the organic districts. And in the last 2 years, finally, we linked a lot of territories in the 5 continents. Now we have to do the critical mass to make this global change possible in the direction of a sustainable food system at global level. In the next slide, you can see that in Europe now we have about 56 organic districts, more 2 under construction, 1 in Sweden. For that, I am very happy to speak with you today. And another one here, where I am in this moment, in the Azores, in 2 islands of Azores, in particular in Horta. In this moment, I am in the municipality of Horta. And in the next slide, you can see how each organic district is different from the others. We have organic districts on the mountain, near the sea, with a rich biodiversity, with territories with few people, with more people. So what is important is that all the organic districts follow the same guidelines and have the minimum necessary requirements that are 3. So it's easy. First of all, the involvement of the whole community in the governance through representatives of local and regional governments. farmers, consumers, business sector, for example, the sector of the tourism, as I said, it's very, very important. Researchers, schools, and it's important that all the community have a common approach to the local food system, more sustainable, more organic. The second is the equal relevance, importance of the representatives. The mayor of a municipality have the same rights of the representative of the consumers or the representative of the touristic operators and so on. The third is the signing of an agreement, a formal agreement between all the parties for the ecological transition of the territories based on the principles of organic farming and on the best practices of agroecology. This is the very important point. You can spend 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, that's not important. But at the end, it's important to have an association, normally is a no-profit association, through all the stakeholders involved in the biodistrict. In the next slide, you can see that INER developed for help the promoter of a biodistrict, a toolkit. Inside this toolkit, we have, for example, the guidelines, for example, what are the activities that the farmers have to do, or the public administrators, and so on. And one of the most important components is the monitoring tool. And in the next slide, for example, you can see the results of this monitoring of the activities that you have inside the biodistrict. Not only the organic production, but for example, the social farming, the tourism, the involvement of young people, the youth and the women have a special role inside an organic district. So after the evaluation of all the activities, we have in this panel of control the picture of which is the stage of development of a biodistrict. As you can see, Chilento started 18 years ago, but it's not perfect. We have an overall score of 4 on 5. And in this picture, you can see, for example, that we have to work more to give more chance to the young people for the development of new activities, for example. We have a good fact of conditions. There is a fantastic meteo, fertility of the soil, and so on. There is a good demand, in particular from the tourists for the organic food, and so on. But what is important, and you can see in the next slide, is that at the European level, now the biodistricts are part of a strategy. In particular, in the organic, in the plan, European plan for the development of the organic agriculture, in the article, in the action 14, we have that the Commission said that starting from 2023, they have to encourage all the member states to support the development and the implementation of biodistrict. In the next slide, I invite you to participate in particular on the first of the 2 main events that we have this year, from 18 to 19 of July. There is the 3rd World Summit of Organic Districts, and will be in presence, but online too. So please, Justin, I think, can provide you the link to this event. It's important that you participate with all your stakeholders in this summit. And in the next slide, finally, you can see that INER and GAUD finally are committed to the implementation of a coherent strategic framework for the development of organic districts. First of all, to improve the quality of life of residents in rural areas, but not only in rural. The link city-rural area is very important for the biodistrict. To increase the power of attraction of rural areas, to increase the employment opportunities, in particular for youth and women, to promote the active engagement of youth in the ecological transition, and to promote and improve the European and international cooperation of rural areas. So, my friends, that's all, and I hope that we can work together for one planet, one humanity, and one health, and for the construction of a very organic local food system. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much, Salvatore. And let's see if there are some questions from you in the audience. Please, you can either use the raise hand function or just start talking. Turn on the mic and start talking. You're welcome to pose your questions to Salvatore now. Unfortunately, Salvatore will not be able to stay for the whole seminar because you are in the Azorean Islands and have another meeting coming up soon. So please take the chance to talk to Salvatore now.
So I spoke more faster, so the people is not interesting to Biodistrict. Please, I'm here for real. Okay, we have Eva.
Yes, please, Eva.
Thank you. Thank you very much for a very interesting and for me up to now unknown initiative, which has been going for some time, and that is very hopeful to hear about. I would just like to ask about the internationalism. It seems as if there is going to be a World Summit in South Korea. And that tells me that there are more districts on the way than only Europe. So please, do you have connections in the United States, in Latin America, and Asia as well? Are there a number of countries that I didn't get to hear about? Thank you.
So thank you for your question. Maria, do you think that may I answer, or we will collect more questions as you prefer?
Please
okay.
answer. I think it's nice.
So thank you, because it's a very important point. In a biodistrict alone can't change the global food system. So for that, we started with the Global Alliance of Organic Districts 2 years ago. And the aim is that to involve more and more territories in all the 5 continents. Actually, we have 1,300 territories about involved in this strategy. And in particular, we have more of 350 organic territories in South Korea, 400 in Philippines. We have in USA, in Australia, in Canada. Thanks to André Lowe, for example, he was the president of IFOAM in the past. We have a very large network in that continent. And in Pacific too, because the president of IFOAM, Karen Mapusua, she's from Pacific and is part of this global alliance, where we have IFOAM, the Organic Food System Program, and Josten is one of the coordinators. We have IFOAM Europe, Regeneration International, and a lot of other very large organizations.
Thank you so much, Salvatore. And Courtney has a question. Please, Courtney.
Thanks, Salvatore. That was really interesting. I just wanted to hear a little bit more about maybe some challenges you've had around with producers, and how that has been with coordination between producers, specifically in relation to whether it's organic certified, or how does it define? Because you said that it's organic principles and agroecology. So I'd just like to hear a bit more about that.
Yes, thank you. First of all, in our global network, we promote the organic regenerative agriculture. This is our aim. Is not important if certified or not certified, because as IFOM decided in the last assembly, all the organic is organic, not only that certified. Sometimes there are people that have only a small piece of land for family production. They don't need to spend money with because they don't go on the market. They use for the families and for the friends, the products, for example. But there is the agroecology that it's very important in the biodistrict. And as you know, there isn't a formal certification for the agroecology, but there are a particular scheme of certification guarantee systems that are very serious that we use in the biodistrict. We have the group certification from this year in Europe too. Is possible to have this kind of certification. So in a biodistrict, we have to involve all, not only the organic certified producers, because we need to have a transition of the full local system in a more sustainable way. So if we have only in a territory a few producers that use organic, that's not X-axis. If we have all the producers that know and can decide if they want to start with an organic transition, this is a very important point.
Thank you. So are there any more questions for Salvatore? While you think, I can read out, there's a message in the chat from Janet Johnson. Thank you, Salvatore, for all this information and interesting subject and initiatives.
Thank you very much, my friends. Of course, I see Justin and other friends that can answer to other questions if you have later. Thank you. Ciao.
Okay, I wish you good luck in the Azores. And thank you so much. We will be in touch. Bye-bye. So then I would like to leave the word to Sophie Gerber and Jostein Hertvik, who have been taking the initiative to establish a biodistrict here in our region, in Sörmland. So Sophie Gerber, you are a researcher and educator with sustainable food systems, and now also a farmer in Sörmland. And you have the newly started company Inspirationskraft AB. And Jostein Hertvik, you are the chair of the board at Beras International and active in the UN Core Initiative Organic Food System Program, and also, as Salvatore mentioned, in the Global Alliance of Organic Districts. So please, Jostein and Sophie, I will leave the word to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Maria. And first of all, thank you to Södertälje Municipality, MatLust, and the team for arranging this event. And I must say, I'm quite impressed about the interest from all sectors. We have here in our meeting from the public sector, regional, county administration, municipalities, politicians, and also leader Sörmlandskusten. We have research and education, university and schools, secondary and vocational. We have from business sector, from the whole food chain, from farm and gardens to fork, and also representative from a social banking initiative, which is very special. Civil society, Organic Farmers Association, Organic Sweden, and so on, and social initiatives. in the Södertälje area with curative homes. Thank you for joining this, and I'm also very happy that we could actually get Salvatore live today on this travel. Sophie.
Yes, thank you. And just to add, as we already heard from Salvatore, this is how we can do a biodistrict, an organic district. We need all these kind of people from all these sectors, from the whole community to make it happen. And as we all know in this seminar, I think we are facing huge challenges when it comes to food security. Maybe we are used to see food security as a problem taking place in other parts of the world, but these problems are also getting closer to us due to the war in Ukraine, as we all know. But also we have the challenges of climate change, of a huge loss of biodiversity, and of eutrophication. And in addition, social fragmentation. And we know that these challenges are connected to the food system and how we produce and consume food. But the good thing about this is that the food system can also provide solutions to these challenges. And the other good news is that what is good for the planet is also often good for the humans. So in order to find solutions to these challenges, we need to have an inclusive cooperation with all these kind of actors that are present today. So we are really happy to see you all here. And also to reach the goals that we have in Sweden, to have 30% of organic farmland and 60% of organic food in public procurements in 8 years. So we have 8 years to go, and we are not there yet in Sörmland, not in all municipalities. Although Södertälje municipality is taking a lead here. So what could this kind of organic district look like in Sörmland? First of all, I would like to say, what is Sörmland? When we started this initiative and talked with Södertälje municipality, we said, let's take the old administrative borders of the landskapet Sörmland, which includes the Södermanlands län with all the municipalities there, and the southern municipalities of Stockholm. And it's very nice to see that several municipalities from both these land signed up for this seminar today. So we have a good start in our definition there. Why should we start in Sörmland? Well, it's a beautiful place. It's a fantastic place, but there are also some other more objective factors maybe. And first of all, if we define Sörmland like this, the landscape Sörmland, we have a very interesting urban-rural dynamic with a big city and rural land and countryside. We also have, if we compare with other parts of Sweden, a rather diversified agrarian landscape with both small, middle-size and large-scale farms. And we both have arable land and possibilities for grazing. So we have a good starting point there. What we also have is a lot of small and medium and large-scale processors, such as mills and dairies, bakeries, breweries, etc. And some of you are present here today, I can see, which is very nice. And not the least, we already have several established initiatives when it comes to organic and food. We have the host for this seminar, Södertälje municipality, and all the work that you are doing in MatLust with Diet for a Green Planet. But we also have, for example, Stolt Mat i Sörmland. We have Sörmlands Matkluster. We have several leader projects that are connected to food and organic. So we have a really good starting point in developing this further in Södertälje, in Sörmland.
Thank you. Thank you, Sophia. I would just like to maybe go a little bit deeper in. There was a question about this is international cooperation and everything, and also Salvatore, he focused on that we should have kind of a common idea, some common guideline. And the basic common guidelines is related to organic principles of health, ecology, fairness, and care. I think these are 4 basic ideas of how we could do this future. I agree that the future, the road we are going is a less traveled road, but this is, we know, business as usual is not an option. So if we base ourselves on health, ecology, fairness, and care, I think we can go the way together. And then I'm so happy that we have Södertälje municipality here and MatLust and Diet for Green Planet, because there we have also not only how we should produce food, but also what food we should eat. I work in this United Nations program, Organic Food System, and we have seen more and more that we need the help from the consumers in order to produce the food that is good for both our health and for the health of the planet. So definitely in some part of the world, we need to decrease, for example, the unnecessary meat consumption that is not good for our health and not good for the planet. So we have to look into the holistic perspective from farm to fork and the inclusive perspective of how we work. And this is, for me, I started this journey with many of you many years ago in the Beras projects, and we developed kind of the same concept as the Biodistrict, but now we are really a family, a global family that would like to do this together. And I hope you sense the enthusiasm from Södertälje and the enthusiasm from Salvatore and the team here that we could do something together. I'm very happy about the introduction of Sarah, that are so curious of what we can do together, and also that Salvatore guided us a little bit on his experience. So maybe Sophie, a little bit of the way forward.
Yes. Okay. So if we would like to develop this organic district in Sörmland, what we need, as we said, is to involve all the actors with food at the center. So the fantastic thing about food is that it concerns everyone. We have a very good entry point when we use the food, because everyone needs to eat, and it can also be a very nice thing to eat. It's not just a thing that we have to do, but it can be a nice thing. It can also be a pedagogical thing. We can use the food as a way to connect to nature, to connect to farming, for example. So changing the food system is not only a way to address these challenges that I mentioned earlier about loss of biodiversity and eutrophication and climate change and so on, but it can also be a way to create an inclusive society and a thriving food landscape. So what we would like to do further on is to try to connect as many actors as possible from the different sectors and start to formulate what is it that we have already going on in Sörmland that we can build further on, but also what are the challenges, especially in Sörmland. As Salvatore said, there is a model, there is a toolkit, but we need to see what is it that is our challenges, our bottlenecks, and our possibilities, and our visions for developing an Ekodistrikt Sörmland. And this we want to do together with you and other actors who would like to be on this journey. So what we have done is already, together with Södertälje municipality, 2 applications for project for EU money, and there is now an open call from Jordbruksverket för, I will say this in Swedish, pilot- och samarbetsprojekt för att förstärka förutsättningarna för ekologisk produktion, which could fit really well into building Ekodistrikt Sörmland, because it's about cooperation between different kinds of actors. So there are several possibilities to also find financial solutions to be able to work with this. But to get this, if I can say it, big money or international or national money, we also need to find local money, because there are always a co-financing part in these kind of projects. So that's also an important way to move forward. How can we commit to the idea, but also financially commit to developing this together? Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. Did you want to add something, Justin? Or should we let everyone into the conversation?
Everyone in, this is the point. Thank you.
Yes, and in the name of inclusion, we are having this seminar in English today, but also in the name of inclusion, I want to encourage you, if you want to speak Swedish, please do, and we will interpret for you. I think we have a few English speaking persons in the audience, so that's why we stick with English for now. So you're welcome to post questions or comment or whatever you would like. Please take the word. Eva, please.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much for your introduction here to tell us about the Sörmland district. And also very interesting that you are alert to get the financing solved. But I can hear that there is a lack of money or a need of money to support the possible part of the EU money. And I would like to ask what are the sort of organizational charter? How is it working? I've heard about the municipality of Södertälje, which I'm a part of. I know fairly well anyway. But what about the rest of Sörmland? Do you have the municipalities of Sörmland with you? Do you have the region of Sörmland with you when it comes to the financial bit to support you in this application for the EU money? Thank you.
Sophie, would you answer?
Okay, you raised your hand, so I thought you would answer, so I'll just lean back. Okay. I mean, we are in the very beginning of this process. So we have cooperation with the Länsstyrelsen Sörmland, and we have very good cooperation already with Södertälje municipality. But on the financial part, we are not there yet. That's the short answer to that.
Yes, Miljöpartiet, Södertälje.
Okay, thank you. And thanks a lot for the presentation so far. It's really interesting to take part of this. And of course, as part of Södertälje municipality, we are very proud of all the work that Södertälje and the MatLust is doing in this. But I also want to ask how do you see from the political dimension? Salvatore, he started to mention a little bit about all the work that they are doing to keep all those different political aspects together. But what do you need from the politics here in this moment of starting up this project in Sörmland?
Maybe I can answer that, Hanna. I think we need the support from all of you. We need to build, first of all, a small committee with the promoting committee, Salvatore calls it, in order to get started. And then we need the support of municipalities and also the local or the regional board in both Stockholm and also Södermanland. So yeah, but the municipality and I'm also happy about Södertälje, but we have more municipality. I think we have altogether 18 or 20 municipality that may be possible. So we need the support from you. We have a concept that we think will work. We have the very close cooperation with Salvatore and the international team. So I think this is, but I would say one thing, they want the Nordic countries to come now because they think the Nordic model can offer something to the global development. And I think it's important. Thank you.
Maybe I can add something. Like Sara said in the very beginning, the starting point in what is happening, what has happened in Södertälje municipality was political decisions in the early 2000. So I think this really shows the importance of political decisions and taking the way, pointing the way. And if we could get many of the municipalities on board, it would make a very big difference. But I think it's also interesting to see what Salvatore said, that once you are on board, you are one of several equal participants, kind of. So that's also a very interesting model. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for the answers, and I'm really looking forward to be a part of this way, and that Södertälje also takes a lead in starting up this project with Biodistrict Sörmland.
Thank you, Hannah. So let's see, it's Björn. Yeah.
Yes. Just one aspect for the program working, what can be accomplished in Sörmland. I read today, I think it was, that Sweden will have the possibility of food shortage because of the war and the global situation. And then when you look, how is it if someone wants to go into farming, and there is only one way today, that is if you have a very, very large farm in order to be able to make all the investments which are necessary. How can one seriously look at the possibilities for also smaller entities to actually be able to work with ecological farming or gardening? That is a, I think, important question, because you have to have a large number of very engaged people in what I would call love for the earth and the animals on it, just to be included in the program, because it's very, very serious, and people who would like to be farmers and gardeners say, no, it's not economically possible.
But thank you, Björn. Thank you for being here with us. And I think this will be part of the program we would like to discuss with all of you. I mean, at this stage, questions are more important than answers. The question we get from all of you are the real question living in a society. And if we can form a diversified group soon, we will put this question down, and we will also look into the, I would say globally, we have a specific attention to the smallholder farmers and fishermen, because they are giving 75% of the food in the world is produced by the smallholder farmers. So we should keep attention to that, and we should put that in the program when all of you join. Thank you.
Yes, Eva, please.
Yeah, referring to the two speakers, Jostein and the man before, I think that this is a very, very acute question, with the current situation, as we've been talking about, or you've been talking about, with the war in Ukraine, but not only that, of course, the climate change and its effects. And when I look upon the administration of the region, Stockholm region, I suppose also the Sörmland region, look at the organizations of the municipalities around, it is not common to have a certain sector in the administration working especially with the issues of food and food production. This is an important part of the construction of administration to also pinpoint the importance, especially at times like this. So from a political point of view, I would say that us representing political parties in this seminar, I think we have to bring back to ourselves and to our organizations and to our administrations the necessity of creating structures that can take care of the issues that are being discussed here, because they are falling in between right now. They are so dispersed in different kinds of areas, but they are not connected to municipality policies or regional policies as they should be. And this is, I think, what we can do, because we are not the farmers. Some other people are doing the farming. And we have to take care about all the wasteland which you can see because of the EU making it. I hope EU will change, and there are signs of changing in this respect when it comes to the importance of food production, of course, and not supporting the wasteland as is necessary. But politics must take this in concern and do something about it. That's my acute reflections, which I will take back to my own organization. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Eva, and thank you. I would say that, responding to your statement here, that we could say that transformation is needed and time is of the essence. And it's time to remember the true meaning of agriculture and food culture. And there's no time to ask how the future will be. We should ask ourselves, how do we want the future to be? And then all of us need to be active, because we have to do it now. Thank you.
Thank you. Any last questions or comments?
Yeah, I think this discussion here is very promising. If we think of that, the first step will be also to define what challenges do we have and how can we move on in a cooperative and inclusive way. So I think this is a very, very nice start with this, and I'm very happy for everyone who participated.
Thank you, Sophie.
Maria, maybe
Yes.
you could mention our application about the Kismet project, because that could be a tool to proceed in this with this concept.
Yes, so I think it was Sophie who mentioned that we have a couple of applications for projects that we're waiting for reply on, and to see if they are funded or not. So that would be very helpful, of course, if these would go through. And we are also looking into this potential other application we could make to Jordbruksverket. And I mean, any other ideas, as has been mentioned, are also very welcome, because this will require efforts, of course, on different scales and by different people to happen. And yeah, I also think this is a very promising first meeting, and it was very nice to listen to you all. Do you have a a short last comment, Eva, or is your hand?
I just wanted to thank you so much for the initiative and for all the work that you are doing, because I know parts of it, but not all of it. So good luck for the future, and we will do what we can on our side. So keep on going. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And Helena?
Just for those who are interested in joining this initiative, who will they contact?
Yes, I was going to come to that. So we will have a short survey after this seminar sent out to you as a feedback to us, and also with a question, if you would like to participate in some way further on, then you can sign up, or you can also just contact me or Sophie or Jostein if you would like that. So there are multiple ways, but this survey will be one concrete way. And to end, I also just want to share with you the link to, let's see, now I lost it. Where we have written our short summary about the biodistrict concept in Swedish and in English. So there you have a chance to also read up and look at the various links if you want to delve further into the concept. There are some opportunities there. And as I mentioned earlier, we also document some other good practice and good examples. And one of these is actually the newest one, is about farming incubator. Thinking back to what Björn and Eva what you were mentioning too. So yeah, with those words, I would like to thank you, all of you, for participating today, and I look very much forward to see where we will go together in the future. So thank you so much and have a good day. Bye-bye.